What is good, ladies and gentlemen? It's your boy Cheats. You are listening to the Black Baseball Mixtape podcast. On this episode, this is the one. The season starts on Thursday. This is our grand extravaganza. That's right. I said grand extravaganza. We are predicting everything, all the division winners, the American League Championship, the National League Championship, the World Series winner. This is the episode where the podcast crew tells the future, ladies and gentlemen. And I am joined by a full slate of Black Baseball Mixtape podcast guests. We'll talk to them in a second, but before we do, we got to shout out our sponsors. That's right, Stilo Sports, the Players Alliance, Rebellion Harvest Sunflower Seeds, Number Game Scorecards, Minority Prospects, and Red, Black, and Green Baseball. Thank you all for supporting the Black Baseball Mixtape. Please support these brands and organizations as they move forward. And if you ever need to contact the show, blackbaseballmixtape@gmail.com. I am here. Everybody's ready. I'm joined by Flobo Boys.
What's going on, Cheese? The extravaganza is here. I'm hyped.
The extravaganza is here. I am hyped. This is the best week we can possibly talk about. So I'm glad you are here. Along for the ride, riding shotgun, my man. We are also joined by Butterman Kane. How we feeling, my guy?
Oh yeah, we feeling real good. I had to put the tie on. This is my first time.
Very dapper.
This is my first time on a cast with Lewis Brinson, guys. Like, this is a big league.
I thought y'all were the same person.
I don't want to bury it.
I have to put something on, and it's a big show. So shout out to Lou for being on the show, and then I'm excited about what we're about to talk about today.
I don't want to bury the lead. Joining us from Thursday nights, the IG Live, my guy Lewis Brinson is in the building. Lou, how do you feel?
Appreciate it. I'm glad I get a chance to be on the prediction show, man. I'm excited. These predictions look good. I think everybody's going to have a little similarities, maybe some differences, but I'm excited. This is going to be fun. This is going to be a good one.
I am excited. We are excited to have you. Finishing it up, the host of 10th Inning Talk. We just had the debut, All About April. April, how are you feeling?
Hi, y'all. Well, hey, y'all. I'm actually feeling really good. I have a lot of positive feedback. So real funny before we actually get started. My students found it. They found my podcast. One thing about kids, they're going to be very honest. So the kid was like, oh, wow, you actually have really good like feedback on the mic. But then he was like, you need to do more episodes. It's not enough. So like,
that's a good sign. Yeah,
coming, y'all.
That is a great sign. 10th Inning Talk is here. Are we expecting a new 10th Inning Talk this week?
Yes, you will have a new episode this week, Wednesday. So be on the lookout for that.
So make sure you subscribe to that. And Flobo, you just dropped an In the Booth today.
Yeah, man. Omari Salisbury over there at Converge Media out there in the Pacific Northwest. He's a accomplished journalist and media mogul trying to tell Pacific Northwest baseball stories. So it was a lot of fun doing that one. And April, we're actually celebrating the month. You know, In the Booth is usually every other Monday. For the month of April, we're doing episodes every Monday in advance of the season. So it's going to be a hot time.
Love it.
Well, we love it as well. So, ladies and gentlemen, not only should you subscribe to the Black Baseball Mixtape podcast, you should subscribe to our family of podcasts, which include In the Booth, hosted by Flobo Boys, and 10th Inning Talk, hosted by All About April. And I'm sure there will be more coming online. We are going to get right into it. Ladies and gentlemen, this is going to be a little bit of a longer show for us because we want to talk about every division. We want to talk about all the big predictions that you would make on all the prediction shows. And I know before we go too further into the action, we know that there's a lot of news coming out of Major League Baseball. There's a lot of news with rosters. Again, the season starts on Thursday. It's the final cutdown week. Most of the teams, if not all of the teams, have left their spring training facilities, and now they're playing their final exhibition games in their Major League stadiums. It's a fantastic time. There's also major news that have implications all across Major League Baseball when you talk about what's happening with the diversity pipeline program or what's happening with DEI on Major League Baseball websites. All of that stuff we will visit as we move forward. in the season. We'll visit them as we move forward next week. That is not the show. That is not this show. We'll talk about all the things that are happening in baseball, but this show is our prediction extravaganza. So we're only going to talk about our predictions and our picks and the teams and who we think are going to do well. And we are starting, drum roll, please, ladies and gentlemen. We are starting with the National League East. That's right, the National League East. We know that is a hot division as we talk about what happened last year in the East. Phillies won the division by 6 games over the Braves and the Mets. Hey, look, they did not sit idly by in New York. They went out and probably got the biggest acquisition you can get for a tune of $765 million. I see you over there, Flobo. Juan Sotos is now in Queens. So let's start with the NL East. Flobo, I'm going to start with you. How does this division strike? How does it fare out? Who do you think is going to win it?
Oh man, this one here is a bunch of question marks, right? The Phillies, did they do enough to bolster their roster? Is Atlanta going to be healthy enough down the stretch? And are the Mets too top heavy after Soto and Pete Alonso? And those are going to be things that are going to be having that huge battle. The NL East was kind of a battleground last season, but if you have to tell me, if there's a team I have to pick, and it pains me to say it, I got Philadelphia winning the NL East here. I still think they're the class of division currently, maybe not for long, but I do think they walk away with the crown here.
Flobo is on the Phillies. That is a little bit of a surprise, given that we know your heart is in Queens.
I know.
It hurts. NL East. Flobo's got the Phillies. What do you think?
Okay, so I'm going to have to go down south for this one, and I'm going to pick the Braves. And the reason why, the Phillies are great. I feel like for me, the Braves got a few more melanin points. We got Drake Baldwin. Shout out to Drake Baldwin.
Melanin points? Come on.
Yeah, I'm with you.
Man, I love the Braves.
I'm with you.
I feel like Michael Harris, he heard what Lawrence was saying on that one podcast, and he's going to try to steal at least 50 bases. Right. I feel like the Braves are turned up. People forget what Matt Holson did. People forget about Austin Riley, and people are already forgetting about Acuna right now. Just because he's hurt a little bit, he will come back, and he knows how to play on that torn ACL a little bit because he's had experience. So Braves are my pick for the division win.
And we are going to April. So we've got 1 Phillies, 1 Braves, NL East. What do you think, April?
Okay, so before y'all just clown me tonight, I called my dad today, okay? So I made sure that I didn't take extra time tonight. And for this one, we actually went back and forth about this because my dad was like, Braves, without a second hesitation. And this is not because I'm the resident Braves hater. I don't trust them. I don't trust their pitching. I understand what you said in regards to the players that you mentioned, because I do believe that they have players like even Ozuna. You know he's going to show up with the bat. Ozzy Albies, he's going to be back healthy. We know that they're getting Acuna, but I'm just not sure with the pitching that they've lost that they can still manage to be able to win. I know that was a lot of close games for them last year. I don't trust the Mets either. So for me, I too pick the Phillies.
Wow. Phillies it is.
I did.
All about
I feel like the Phillies are in a place of, I don't want to say desperation, but I do feel like they are in a place where it's win or kind of
the window is closing.
And so they're going to come in ready to be able to show us exactly what they have. And so I trust what they have a little bit more than the other teams.
So we've got 2 for the Phillies, 1 for the Braves. Lewis Brinson, your first prediction on the Big Prediction Show. NL East, my brother. Who do you got?
So, I like the Phillies. I like obviously the Mets, top heavy at the top. But I got the Braves. Just because I've seen that lineup firsthand. I played against that lineup. Obviously, losing Freddie Freeman is big, but gaining Matt Olson is, perfect for them in that chop house, just peppering that chop house out there. A healthy Braves I don't see anybody knocking them off. Even with the Phillies lineup that they do have, and the starting rotation that they do have. Obviously, Ranger Suarez is going to start on the IL. Taiwan Walker going to take that 5th spot, but I got the Braves winning. They're going to get Acuna back in May. Schwellenbach's a real deal. Lopez showed that he's a real deal, that he can back up, kind of take that second spot in the rotation behind Sale. Sale's coming off the Cy Young. He's gonna be Chris Sale again. Losing Max Fried hurts, but that lineup is just too consistent. They don't chase. They hit the ball the ballpark. They hit the balls in the gaps. Like I said, Michael Harris has a chip on his shoulder with his brother Lawrence over there. This lineup, if healthy, I don't see them losing this division. I see them winning this division, regaining the crown.
And they get Strider back too.
And they get Strider back too. He's not going to start with him, but yeah, they get him back. Yeah.
So you got 2 for the Phillies, 2 for the Braves. I like where we're going with this in the NL East. I think one of the most exciting divisions in all of baseball. But I think it's exciting for another reason. I think it's exciting for what's going to happen in Queens. The other team in New York goes from baby brother to big brother. It's going to be 1980. It's going to be 1986 all over again. And I've got the Mets.
What?
I've got the Mets winning the division, putting on a show, and I'm gonna go with Pete. I'm gonna go with Lindor. I'm gonna go with Soto. I'm gonna get him out there. Shout out the only brother on the roster, Tyrone Taylor, right?
But now, yeah,
right? And here's the reasoning I'm gonna go with it. Because I think you're right. I think there's just a lot of ifs in the division, and let's just be frank. I think there's a lot of ifs with the health of the Braves and the Phillies. It's a lot of, if they stay healthy, they're the best team, and I agree with that. But I also think if the Mets stay healthy and the Mets get a little bit of pitching, they just got to get a little bit of pitching, and then they've got Vientos, they've got Lindor, they've got Alonso, they've got Soto. So all they need is a little bit of pitching to hold the fort, and I think they win the division. So that's where I'm going with it. Book it, April. Our first division is in the box. We've got 2 Phillies. We got 1 Mets. This guy,
2 Braves,
and we're off and running to win the division. Let's switch.
We got a Mets that is not even me. That's crazy. That's crazy.
Let's stay in the East, but let's go to the other. Let's go to the other league.
Woo.
We're going to the very scorching American League East. Okay. We're going to the American League East. Last year, as you know, it was a battle the entire year. I mean, it was a Orioles, Yankees, who's going to win the division pretty much for the entire year. And at the end of the day, the Orioles slumped pretty heavily after the All-Star break. They limped into the playoffs. The Yankees did a little bit better, obviously, in the second half of the season and wound up winning the division only by 3 games. But they did win the division, and they went on, obviously, as you know, the Yankees went on to win the American League Championship and go play in the World Series. This year, in my mind, everybody got a little bit better. And I think the Red Sox got a lot better. The Yankees, I think they did, even losing Soto, I think they did some really good things when they got Devin Williams and they picked up Cody Bellinger and they picked up just Paul Goldschmidt. They just they put Jazz, I think, in the right place again. So I think the Yankees are going to be there. Now, the big if is always health. Garrett Cole, we don't know. Stanton, we don't know. Luis Hill, we don't know. So there's a lot of question marks around the health and the rotation of the Yankees and how that's going to look. I think they're going to take a step back. I think the Red Sox are going to take a step forward. I think both Tampa Bay and Toronto, if they get hot in the right times, can put some pressure on the top. But I'm still pitching struggles be damned. Pitching rotation and the loss of Corbin Burns be damned. I'm still rolling with these guys in Baltimore because they have proven they can win games, a lot of games. Adley Rutschman is going to be back to Adley. Gunnar Henderson's proven to be one of the best players in baseball. Cedric Mullins is on a contract year. They've got all the young talent in the world. And, I mean, if we can get anything out of Zach Eflin, Grayson Rodriguez, Senguno, is that how you say it?
Sugano?
Sugano.
Sugano.
Anything out of Sugano. We've got Felix Batista coming on that back end of that rotation. Cano is still in the back end of that on that bullpen. I think the Orioles have what it takes. This is probably more of a heart pick than a head pick, but my heart says Baltimore Orioles get back on top of the mountain, win the division, and we actually do win the playoff series this year. We get over the hump. So that's my pick. I'm going with the Orioles. April, American League East.
First off, stand on business about your team. I love it. I really, really like it.
No, don't encourage
April
him,
got
April.
the Dodgers
You're
winning
crazy.
everything.
Right, as I said, it's not hard for you to say this, April. It's not hard for you to say this.
They can't win all the divisions, April.
This may shock y'all because y'all know my daddy is a Yankees fan. And so when I called him today, he was like, I know you got my Yankees. And I was like, you know you're wrong. So yes, I do not have the Yankees coming out on top. As a matter of fact, I feel like losing two big aces, not having Garrett Cole is going to be huge for them. I also feel like we don't know the timetable for Luis Hill. I do think that they've made some great improvements, but the Yankees are just going to yank. And I don't know exactly what that's going to look like at times. I've seen that first base play multiple times in spring training, and it gives me the ick because they still haven't figured it out. For me, I feel like the Red Sox have improved on a lot of levels to the point where I am comfortable in picking them as my leading team. I think I looked at the Orioles, and for me, with the Orioles, it's just that pitching, it just doesn't give me the confidence. And I don't really know if they have enough to compete at the level that I think the Red Sox and the Yankees are going to do this year.
Red Sox finished 13 games back last year. That doesn't scare you at all?
Nope.
They had a lot of injuries, man. They didn't have Alex Bregman. I'm just saying.
Right?
Lou,
They got all that.
April, you got the Red Sox. And, of course, I like respect to you because you are rolling with your guy, Alex Bregman there. You didn't mention him, but I know you're rolling with him because he's in your heart. Alex Bregman is in your heart, April.
Forever LSU. Forever LSU.
I'm gonna have to agree with April. The Red Sox made some big moves. I'm telling you, man, and Crochet at the top of that rotation is going to be a problem for the East, for the rest of the East, and the rest of the league in that matter. But getting biggest key for me with the Red Sox, obviously health with anybody. Got to stay healthy. Tristan Casas has to stay on the field. That rotation has to stay healthy. I think Walker Buehler is going to be another little sneaky acquisition, even though we forget who Walker Buehler was for the Dodgers for a minute. But Bregman, the addition of Bregman, and if they can get Devers on board.
He's on board.
With whatever. Listen, he says he's on board, but I know clubhouses. I know egos in clubhouses. You got to get him to fully buy into that DH or occasional third base role. If they want to move Breggs to second, give Breggs a day off, get him a DH. Even though Breggs is out there, 150 plus games, 155 plus games every year. Jared Duran in the outfield is going to do his thing again. Wong behind the plate's going to do his thing again. I think this team has a lot of good pieces. I think the bullpen's a little bit of a question, but acquiring Chapman again, I think Chapman has a couple things to prove. It's still Robus Chapman. Let's be real. But I think the Red Sox have done enough to take that step forward, like you said, April and Cheats. I got them winning the division.
So we've got 2 Red Sox, 1 Orioles. We haven't had a Yankee yet. Are you going to be the Yankee Flobo boys?
Well, if there's ever going to be an award for the most improved team, it has to be Boston, right? Like, this is what they've done.
I gotta see it.
because a year after Full Throttle not going nowhere, there's actually some moves in the right direction. You may not like Bregman, you may not like, and they lost Pavetta too. So like they found a ways to like to piece the things that they needed to do. So I think
favorite Pavetta.
Yeah, I think Boston would be the most fun team to watch in this division. But fun teams don't win divisions, right? So you think about the Orioles, which I think is probably going to be in the conversation, and the Yankees, who I think, even though they lost Juan Soto, plugged that hole in a way that was pretty much thorough. Got to give props to that. So I did have Baltimore. I did have New York on top of the division, and it comes down to, am I a Hyde guy or a Boone guy? And even though I love when Boone gets ejected, I think he has a slight competitive edge. I got the Yankees to win the division. I don't like to say it. I think Baltimore does a good solid, but the Yankees are going to win the division. Shout out to the Red Sox, though. They're going to make it fun, but it's going to be NY.
I will tell you this. If the Yankees win the division, it will not be because of Boone. If you ask me about
Boone.
If you ask me about Hyde or Boone any day of the week, I'm taking Hyde every day of the week and twice on Sunday. Malik, what do you say, AL East?
Okay, guys. So first, we're gonna have to talk about the Red Sox a little bit because we did say a little bit about
the Red Sox. I'm getting a little Red Sox jealous.
I'm not gonna vote for the Red Sox. Sorry. Looking at their record for the last 5 years, and it's not looking that great. We're talking 81-81 last year, last in the division in 2023, 2022, a little stinky there as well. Of course, the team wasn't the way it was supposed to be. But I'm picking the Yankees because the Yankees, their ability to get better at the All-Star break and at the trade deadline has been a lot more proven than I think than some of these other teams. The O's, they seem to kind of have, cold feet every time it's time to trade a good prospect. The Red Sox, we don't really know what the owner wants to do or the front office wants to do at the deadline. I think the Yankees have that ability to, turn it around at the last minute. I'm predicting that they're going to trade for Sandy Alcantara during the season to support that pitching issue. I'm pretty sure they're going to find some bat from some team that doesn't want to win, and they're going to plug it right into the lineup. So I think that the Yankees are going to take it just because of their proven ability to adjust midseason, even with adversity. So
Tommy Pham, watch Tommy Pham.
That was the first thing that came to my mind.
When you see Jason Dominguez struggling in left, Tommy Pham will help.
Do you really think the Yankees are going to need bats to plug into the lineup this year?
I mean, they picked up Jason last year, so I mean,
somebody gonna get hurt, Chiefs.
Yeah.
Somebody's
always gonna get hurt. But I'm looking at rosters and saying that I think if any team needs a plug and a bat between the three we're talking about, it'll probably be the O's. Honestly, they'll probably need to plug in a bat there.
I'm thinking about that DH from Giancarlo just kind of vacated, so who's going to fill that bat? That's a big bat that they're missing with Giancarlo's elbows kind of being string being right now. So I'm hoping,
and they obviously Dom Smith did not make the Yankees team, and we talked. I don't know how many folks talked about the Red Sox, and we didn't talk about Christian Campbell at all starting at second base. So we'll see how that goes on the lineup. But
and the big three coming up, their big three or whatever.
Yeah. But Christian Campbell's of the big three. Campbell's going to start at second base apparently.
Right.
Yeah.
The other guys, Mayer and Roman Anthony, will start in AAA, I believe.
Yeah,
they will.
I've heard great things about Anthony. I've heard great things about him.
He can mash. What were you going to say, April?
I addressed all of this on my podcast. I didn't want to give too much tonight, so make sure you tune in on Wednesday. That's one. Number two. Someone in the comments said, what if the Blue Jays find themselves out? And that was something that my dad and I talked about as well. For me, the Blue Jays are in a very weird position because I think we've seen how they literally were going after so many players and they just couldn't make it work for many of them. And I also think I looked at the manager, he's kind of on the hot seat this year. So for the Blue Jays, I don't really know where they fall. I just don't see them outpacing the teams that we talked about. I don't know about y'all.
I mean, hey, look, the Blue Jays are gonna. I mean, I think every team in the AL East has improved somewhat. I mean, the Rays were off to that scorching hot start. What was it, 2 years ago, and then kind of came back down to reality. But I think that all of them have the ability to really kind of turn the corner, and I do think it's going to be more interesting than not because of the improvement or perceived improvement of the Red Sox. You guys brought it up. We should just quickly take a look at this. I think I know the answer to this. I'll tell you, if I was doing this AL East and NL East, if there was a league pass team or two, or a league pass team to watch in each division, I think we're pretty much settled on, in the American League East, if you're going to watch a team all season just to track it, is for interest. What's going to be the most entertaining? Do we think the Red Sox are going to be the most entertaining AL East team?
Yes.
Probably.
Maybe.
Yes.
Of the NL, I'm going with the Red. I mean, I don't even like the Red Sox, and I'm going to go with the Red Sox as my league.
I can tell, Cheats. I don't like the Red Sox. I know.
I don't. There's nothing. There's nothing. Let's be clear. There's nothing about the Red Sox that I like. Nothing. But I would pick them as my league pass team of the AL East. Of course, I've already picked the Mets to win the division. I would say the New York Mets would be my National League East league pass team. But you guys, who would you want to watch day in and day out from a sheer entertainment value situation?
Oh, Mets from the NL East.
Yeah.
Mets.
Probably the Mets. Yeah.
Mets.
Definitely the Mets. I mean, I want to see what Soto means to that
Same.
lineup. I think he's just he elevates a team by so much. You see what he did with the took him all the way to the World Series. But just adding him and obviously Jazz. But he's the table set. He got him there with that big home run in the CS. But I want to see what Soto does in that lineup and how they maneuver kind of around and who's going to hit behind him and how Pete's going to react to things and how Lindor's going to bounce back and all that other stuff. So yeah, I think so. Yeah.
So I think you're right. I think so. The league pass teams are the Red Sox and the Mets in the AL East and NL East. I think the league pass player, especially in the NL East, is going to be Soto. We want to find out what he does and how. Is there a league pass player in the American League East, a player that you would want to watch, like would stop you? And I'm saying I want to see what this guy does. Malik, you're shaking your head. Who would be your league pass player in the AL East?
Got to be either Gunnar or Judge, because Gunnar might, take that MVP this year with his skills. But
I
Judge,
thought you were big Stroman. I thought your guy was Stroman. Right?
Stroman.
Oh, I want to see a Stroman start. Don't get me wrong. Beautiful. I love seeing.
You're gonna go out of your way to see Stroman start?
I would.
I think he got him today.
I mean, hey, look.
Yeah, he did.
He
got him today.
This might just be because I'm enamored with the young guys, but I do think Christian Campbell's the guy I would go out of my way to see. If Christian Campbell's starting, I want to see how he fits in that lineup and what he can do day in and day out. A lot like I did with Jackson Holiday last year. When Jackson Holiday got the call, I went out of my way to see him. I remember, was it 2 years ago when Taj Bradley got the call? I went out of my way to find the Tampa Bay Rays game on MLB extra innings so I could watch him. I like the young guys, so I do think the Christian Campbell of it all is really intriguing for me. So I'd love to see that. All right.
For me, it would just be Vladdy, just because I don't know he wanted to even get traded.
Yep.
So
Vladdy's gonna go off. By the way,
Yes.
Mad
he's gonna go off.
Mad Vlad. I like that.
Vladdy's gonna go
Trademark.
Let's jump over to the West. So we did the AL East and the NL East. Let's jump over to the NL West. Probably the easiest division to predict. I'm going to turn the floor over to All About April, so you can already start NL West predictions. April, who do you think is going to come out on top?
Well, as the reigning World Series champions, I think it's only right and fair for me to go on ahead and say that since we haven't had back-to-back since 2000, it's time for MLB to have their moment once again. And this moment will come with the Los Angeles Dodgers, not only taking the division, but also repeating as the World Series champion. So, yeah.
You buried the lead.
Hey,
wait. Don't go too far ahead of yourself.
Oh, okay, sorry.
Ew.
I got a little excited because whenever you're used to winning,
gave them a presentation, a proper presentation.
Right,
April.
She was building that up big time.
All right.
I was ready
NL West predictions. Is there anything? April picked the Dodgers. Is there anything that's going to surprise you about this division, April?
I will say that do not sleep on the Diamondbacks. For me, they are going to be what we've seen of the Padres. I do think that the Diamondbacks have enough to compete at a very high level. So I think that they'll win. I mean, I know we did the over under last week, but I really think that the Diamondbacks are going to be a problem for the league.
I got a question for you, April, though.
Yes.
Is Lavello in the hot seat this season? You think?
He's been there for 9 years. No, I don't see him in the hot seat. But I don't see it. It doesn't come across that way to me. I think that he's garnered a lot of respect from his players and that people trust him. I think that for the team in general, that they've made moves in the hopes that they will advance on those moves. And let's not forget, the Diamondbacks are not too far removed from actually being in a World Series. So they're right there. For the Diamondbacks, if they're in another division, we're having a totally different conversation. It's just unfortunate where they are and who they're playing against. They're playing against the Padres. They're playing against the Giants. So it's unfortunate that they have to show up every single day, especially against these teams.
All right. No surprise there in the sense that Abel's got the Dodgers winning the division, but you have the Diamondbacks being the surprise team in the division. Malik, what do you say about the NL West?
Okay, so April, did you pick your Dodgers?
Of course.
Okay, yeah. So I'm taking the D-backs.
This man confirming, like for real.
And then you went away from the Dodgers.
Did I hear right?
Wow.
You picked
I'm
who?
going to give some reasons. I'm not just trying to spite the Dodgers. Okay, let me just be clear. Ketel Marte is a freak. Corbin Carroll is a freak of nature as well. I think he's kind of he's undersold of how strong he actually is power-wise. Like, have y'all looked how hard he hits the ball and how fast he runs? And then we look at how the Diamondbacks are every year able to snake, like the Dodgers have something with the Diamondbacks where they were just like snake bite them. And so I feel like the D-backs are going to get real hungry. They won more games than they did last year than they did when they went to the World Series. Corbin Burns is a big dog. Gallen is in his walk year. Shohei Ohtani is going to help the Dodgers in a big way. But if the Dodgers lose one of their big players, like say if Mookie's not able to be the best he can be, let's say if Freddie's leg starts hurting a little bit, they start relying on Shohei a lot more. And I don't know if they can do that again. I don't know if they can just keep doing that. So picking the D-backs, they got a lot more around them for me.
It's a good point.
Is it a good point, Lou? You're next. Is it a good point? And I'm writing wow in the comments because Buttermain picked the D-backs. April's got the Dodgers. Lou, what say you in NL West?
Yeah, the D-backs are, definitely a team to watch and don't let them sneak up on you. But I mean, the Dodgers, man, they got way too many weapons. You do bring up a good point in Betts and Freddie. Can Freddie kind of hone that leg? I know that leg's still bothering. I know that ankle's still bothering him. But just too many weapons. The bench is there for them. Miguel Rojas is going to play a solid shortstop until Mookie gets back. You add a Conforto. Teoscar's back. Pages is a solid center fielder out there. He's going to give you solid ABs. They just have too many weapons. You got, obviously, reigning MVP, Ohtani. The pitching rotate. Glasnow's your fifth starter. I mean, what are we doing? What are we talking about here? And you just sprinkle in a Tanner Scott at the end of the game. Just way too many weapons. I got the Dodgers.
And don't forget Tommy Edman. He's literally like the
underrated, most underrated, one of the most underrated guys. Just like kind of hiding in that lineup, but a very important part of that lineup.
Lou's got the Dodgers. No surprise there. Flobo, what do you got?
So it's close, actually, for me.
Close.
It was a close because
playoffs.
Look, here's the league class team is going to be the Diamondbacks. That's the one I'm going to check out to see how they play. Even though I have a soft spot for the Rockies because it's been so bad for so long, I would say the
Rockies
Diamondbacks
are 37 games out.
Hey man, you know what? They wear their purple jerseys and have a good time. The score is fun. It's fine. No, but here's the deal. I have the Dodgers winning, so that's my answer. I'm not bearing the lead here. But you can't really underestimate the big elephant in the room when it comes to LA winning that division, and it's how old everyone is. Saki's Mobilito's 26. I mean, all the infielders are over the age of 30. I mean, Betts is 32, 33 for Hernandez. Muncy's 34. Rojas is 36. Like, I don't know. So I'm going to give them the win because it's on prowess, but it should not be easy for them like it was last season.
But is this because of your Snakes? Is everybody saying that the Snakes are going to finish second in the West? Outside of Malik,
yeah.
the Snakes are going to finish
I have them as second on my little.
What about you, Lou?
Yeah.
Everybody has the Diamondbacks over the Padres.
I got the Padres finishing second.
You're bugging.
It's not going to be far off. It's not going to be far off. It's going to be a battle towards the end.
What happened last season? Are we just throwing that out of the window that the Padres were this close from knocking the Dodgers completely out of the playoffs? And like, are we just saying the Dodgers? Like, are we so upset with the Padres offseason moves? Is that what it is?
No, that's exactly what it is.
Are upset with the Padres offseason moves. So if Manny Machado is in an interview talking about how his team hasn't done enough, that ain't on me. But I don't even know if Dylan Cease finishes the year as a Padre, if we're keeping it 100. So if we're talking about the Yankees making a move, that very well could also be a move that they make for a starting pitcher. I don't trust with the moves that they are making, especially with them being in that financial crunch, the family drama.
No quotes. That's exactly what's happening.
That's a real thing.
I don't really know exactly what this team is going to look like after All-Star break or by the end of the season. So
if they're not winning, yeah.
Yes.
Tanner Scott's gone. You got rid of Profar, who was your engine. I mean, the catcher, Kyle, what's his name? Ishikawa. My fault. Yeah, he's gone too. I mean, look, let's be real. Like the Padres had a window, and I think that's why they played so hard last season because they knew it's going to be an uphill battle next season.
I mean, look, I'm not going to bury the lead either. I'm picking the Dodgers. I'm going to pick the Dodgers more so not because of a lot of the things that you mentioned. I think Lou mentioned it more a little bit, but I'm not going against Yamamoto, Tyler Glasnow, my guy, look, the new guy,
Dustin May.
I'm not going against that rotation. Is what I think that rotation is going to be able to hold it down. If Shohei pitches or not, there's a chance that Shohei doesn't pitch at all this year. I think he wants to pitch, but the question is it in his best interest to pitch, right? Especially if Mookie and Freddie and these guys are nicked up or banged up, or I mean, obviously we're all praying for Mookie Betts to make sure that he gets back right. There's a very kind of weird situation that Mookie's under right now because he says he feels fine. He just can't keep any food down, which is scary in its own sense.
Right.
However, they just went over to the Tokyo series. Mookie didn't play, Freddie didn't play, and all they did was sweep, right? Because they got some really good pitching performances out there and some timely hitting, and I think they can carry some of that. However, I will say, I think you guys are a little. I don't know if it's enamored with the Diamondbacks here. The Diamondbacks finish, yes, better than they did the year they won the World Series, but they barely got in the playoffs in that World Series. They shouldn't have been there, and then they wind up finishing 9 games back. Last year with 89 wins. The Padres, on the other hand, were 5 games back, 93 wins, and gave the Dodgers a real run for their money. Now, I know what you're saying about the all-season moves, but hear me out here. The Padres lineup, Luis Reyes leads off. Tatis, who's going to be a monster. Tatis is, like everybody talking about Manny Machado. Tatis is by far the most talented player.
Maybe.
I mean,
he might.
I'm agreeing with Cheats here. They got a ridiculous line. Jackson Merrill, come on.
Jackson Merrill batting third. All he was NL rookie, rookie of the year, something like that. He was right up there with Paul Skeens and probably should have been rookie of the year. So you got
he was my rookie of the year.
What's that?
He was mine too.
He was my rookie of the year.
Yeah, Jackson Merrill was amazing. So again, after Merrill, so Arias, Tatis, Merrill, Machado, Zagar Bogart, right? Yuri Gurriel is there as well. Like this Padre team is not going to be bad, and I think they've got a chip on their shoulder. I think now and again, I don't know if they have all the moxie and swag that they had last year when they were trying to punch the Dodgers in the face. but I do think that they're going to be right there in the mix with everyone else. So I'm picking the Dodgers. I am picking the Dodgers, but all this Diamondbacks love, they would not be my league pass team.
Come on, bro.
Listen,
the Padres will be though.
Top five
Y'all said the
offense
same thing
teams.
to me in 2023 whenever I said the Rangers are winning the World Series, and y'all all laughed at me, and I was right. I'm not wrong about
When
it.
you saying the Dodgers will win the
I don't
World
remember
Series,
laughing at
you and everyone else.
I don't recall laughing at you.
This one is not.
I will be right again.
Look, the Rangers, I will give you credit because you jumped off a limb on that. But the Dodgers winning the World Series, okay. Y'all are like the win line is negative. Like
now, someone in the comments asked, "Is this going to be too much for Roberts to manage?" So
no.
No,
I mean,
no.
I saw that comment and I chose to ignore it only because no.
Damn.
No,
I know.
The notion that Doc Roberts is going to have trouble managing this team is absurd.
The fact that he did it last year with their deep playoff run, with all the injuries and Freddie and managing him and giving him time off and managing all of that he had,
changing pitchers every other inning.
Yeah, he'll be just fine. He knows these guys. He's been around these guys. He knows these guys better than anybody. He's been around the same dudes for a while now. He has a great relationship with everybody in that clubhouse.
When the Padres finish fourth, I want an apology.
Even the way the players
fourth, me too.
I think it's very telling.
Right,
it definitely can't happen.
April, write it down. Flobo is demanding an apology when the Padres finish where?
Fourth.
Fourth.
You said the Padres are finishing fourth?
Yes.
Flobo is demanding an apology, and shout out to Flobo for wearing the Norfolk Red Stockings cap. We see you. But yeah, he's demanding an apology. And that rotation, Michael King, Dylan Cease, Nick Pivetta, Malik's favorite. They're not giving me a lot of confidence. But when Darvish is great when Darvish comes back. So we'll see. All right.
One more X factor for the Padres before we move on. They played considerably better with Mike Shildt as their manager than Bob Melvin. So that was a big change for me. So anywho,
let's jump over to the AL West. We're jumping over to the American League West. And hey, look, this is a division. Let's just call a spade a spade. The AL West is one of those wacky divisions where you've got the Astros, the Mariners, the Rangers, all kind of bunched up. It was one of those kind of fights to the finish, right? What was it, 2 years ago? Between the Mariners, the Astros, and the Rangers, just to see who was even going to get into the playoffs, right? So we'll see. Looking at everything that's put in place, who we have every time out, I'm going to tell you now, I don't love the makeup of all the teams in the division, right? There's like, again, it would, no, I'm just saying, it would be easy to look at this thing and just, if you had any doubt, say the Astros, because the Astros are a bit of plug and play, right? The Astros are always proven to be a bit of plug and play. But what I'm telling you is that when I look at the American League West, I think it could be the Rangers. I think it could be the Mariners. I think it could be the Astros. And I'm going to put my faith and confidence in what I'm familiar with, and I'm familiar with the Astros winning. So I'm going to put my faith and confidence in the Astros winning the division, not because I think the other teams can't do it. I think the Rangers and the Mariners could possibly do it, but I just don't know what they've done in my mind to overtake the Astros, who won the division by 3.5 games last year. I don't know about this Altuve moving to left field. I don't. I do like Christian Walker. I do like Yordan Alvarez, right? I hope Jeremy Pena has a bounce back year. I think Isaac Paredes is a player. I am going to be watching Cam Smith as much as everybody's going to be watching Cam Smith. But there's a good chance, no disrespect, we talk about this a lot on this show. There's a good chance that a guy like Cam Smith has a rookie year like Jordan Walker. Like, I mean, again, we would want to believe that doesn't happen. We want to believe the best in our players, but I'm going with the Astros. I've got a lot of trepidation about it, but that's my pick to win the AL West, only because I have less faith in the Mariners and the Rangers than I do the Astros. That's where I am. April, I see you shaking your head. You're in AL West. Look, you guys are down there in. So, April, what do you say about the AL West right now?
I am down here in H-Town. I can tell you they are very excited for Thursday. This was actually the one where I put stars next to it because I feel like, as you said, it's kind of wonky. And I feel like this particular division it may be closer than we even think with some of the moves and changes that were made. As I mentioned in the over-under show, I don't really trust Seattle's hitting just yet, even with the new manager. I need to see a little bit more. With the Angels, I really feel like the Angels just need to let the young guys play. I do. I think that we're past time with all the injuries.
We shouldn't be talking about the Angels. The Angels are 25 and a half games back.
Okay.
They're not going to be much better. We should not be talking about the Angels.
Not even true. Stop.
I don't.
You think we should be talking about the Angels?
They're going to the playoffs.
I wait, and by the way, you're talking to me about this? Me? Who's been Team Angels, Black Angels for how long? Don't do it. Don't do it. However, I do not have them winning.
Stop.
I do have
full stop.
I have the Rangers.
Look.
Who's winning?
Flobo said the Angels are going to the playoffs.
Correct.
He did.
That's correct. I do recall saying this.
He did. He said it, and you said, "Oh, I don't think he said it first. It was April."
No, you guys dragged me and said April.
You're talking about the Angels going to playoffs this year?
He said it in the
Yeah, I've been saying it for the past month. Yeah, they don't win the division. We'll get to my time next, or later. But I have them going to the playoffs.
I had a good mind to cancel the show, Malik. I don't know what the hell. I have a good mind to end the show right now, Malik.
I have the Rangers, y'all. I have the Rangers coming out. So I think that the Rangers have the hitting. I think that they are putting plans in place. I like. Why are you looking at me like that?
I'm not looking at you. I'm still looking at you.
Okay, you're still looking at
He's disappointed in me for some reason.
Still looking at
I'm not even one talking. He's mad at me. I'm just
right. What did I do?
I don't know what to say. Go ahead. I'm sorry, April. April, I'm sorry. This is borderline disrespectful at this point. I apologize because Flobo threw me all off. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
That's okay. Yeah, I said I have the Rangers. I'm very confident that they're going to do better. I think that they're going to be healthier. I also have a very soft spot for the Rangers, being that I lived in Dallas for a very long time. So, I mean, it's really hard for me to root against Simeon and Seager, especially with, I can't think of the outfielder's name as well, but DeGrom is coming back. I think that the way that the Rangers choose to use him will be very beneficial for them. And I mean, I just like Bruce Bochy, so I'm rolling with the Rangers.
Do we want to go to Flobo now?
No, what I do wrong? I'm just saying. Look,
he gave his opinion.
I am rooting for Wyatt Langford. I thought he had all the chips put on him last year to be rookie in the air, and it didn't work out for him. And he's on my fantasy team. Shout out to Back Mixtape fantasy team. But no, the AL West is my favorite division. If the Mets were not on the table and you told me I had to league pass only one division all season, I'll do the AL West just because of how wonky it is, right? You got Seattle, always feel like they're a half a team. 10 years ago, they didn't have any hitting. 10 years ago, they didn't have any pitching. Now they got all the pitching but no hitting.
Yes.
The Athletics are playing in Sacramento, which you can talk about the facility of it all. The travel of it all could be different. We don't know because they'll be playing out there on turf in 100-degree weather. The Angels have done what the Royals did last season and got a lot of reclamation parks and parts and rookies with veterans and guys that may have washed out. And those are always historically teams that go on Cinderella runs when it counts. We're talking about the 22 or 23 Snakes, the 24 Royals. We're talking about the Angels in 2025. That's why I have them finishing second. But if I had to pick a team, you have to go with the Astros. Now, I'm not the biggest Joe Espada supporter. I'm actually a Joe Espada hater. But Dana Brown finds a way to win, and he gives Homeboy the tools to do it. You can't deny the Astros until they start messing up themselves. I got Houston top of the division. But the Angels are going to the playoffs, my friend.
Hey,
Stop. It happened. It could happen.
Rolling this man.
Oh my God.
He's trolling me live.
Boo
Live.
this man.
While you
Boo
speak.
him. Boo this
Ah.
man.
Wow.
Oh my God.
All right.
I got the Astros win the division, though.
You
That
made
counts.
some really good points about the much-watched nature of it. I feel like if Flobo was to write a book, like a documentary book about a division, like I think it might have been I can't remember who wrote it. I don't think it was John Feinstein who just passed away, but it was like the last days of amateurs, and they like followed the Ivy League basketball teams on a bus and wrote a book about. If there was going to be a dramatic romantic book about like a wacky division, like almost 1970s style of baseball, I think Flobo should write the book on the AL West.
Let's
He's
do
just
it. I'm
follow
in.
the AL West teams and make this happen. All right. So April has the Rangers. Flobo has the Astros. Cheats has the Astros. Lou, who do you have in the AL West?
I got the Rangers winning the AL West. I
By a
would
lot?
get that. What's that?
By a lot or by a little?
By a little, but I have them doing just enough. I like the move. I really like the move of Jake Berger. I really like the move with him at first base. He's going to provide 25, 30 home runs, like I said last week. DeGrom coming back. The Vandy boys getting a chance to show what they can do in that rotation is going to be big. With Jack Leiter and Kumar, I think they're going to step into their kind of the rest of their role as the year goes on. Garcia healthy, Simeon healthy, Seager healthy. That's kind of the engine of that lineup. I'm rooting for Langford. I think he's going to be a really solid big league player. Rooting for Carter as well. But I think they're going to be solid and be able to hold off the Astros. I'm telling you, man, getting rid of Bregman is not as detrimental as maybe everybody thinks, but I think it's going to be a problem for the Astros just because of what he means to that organization, what he means to that lineup, and how they kind of piece everything together. And again, being in that organization and seeing what that guy means to that organization. Again, I like the moves of Christian Walker and Paredes with that short porch, but I think they take a step back, and I think the Rangers take a step forward.
Yeah, it's interesting. I mean, I do like you stack them side by side. I don't dislike. I think the Rangers lineup 1 through line maybe a little bit flashier, but I think it's because guys like Paredes isn't really flashy. Christian Walker's not flashy. I think they're good players. Christian Walker, I don't think he's a flashy guy. Nobody goes around. They might now, because Houston does this thing with their fan base where it doesn't really matter how big of a star you are. It's like they become bigger stars in Houston.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, I think,
when he starts playing Pepper with that train, he'll be flashy.
Yeah, but I just don't, I did not know Christian Walker to be a overly popular player. I know he was a good player. It might change. It might change in Houston because, again, we talked about, the top 20 selling jerseys in all of MLB. And it's like Altuve, Kyle Tucker, Bregman, they were all in there. So, right. I mean, I think they make bigger stars in Houston. But like looking at the lineup side by side, I think the Rangers are a little bit more flashier. I do like the Astros lineup. Malik, you are the last one to finish out the West category. Who do you think wins the AL West?
I'm gonna have to pick my Astros, man. I'm gonna have to pick my hometown, H-Town, hold it down. And I'm not doubting everything that Lou said about or anyone has said about the Rangers having such a phenomenal lineup. Corey Seager is a MVP candidate for me. He's just a hitting robot, like they say. But I think we're kind of like maybe underselling a little bit the Paredes move. He doesn't hit the ball as hard as some other third basemen, but he's able to put the ball in the air. His walk rate is incredible. His strikeout rate is actually well above average as far as like compared to a lot of players in the league, striking out at 16% while most guys are at 25-27% today. The Astros need that. We need a little bit more patience in the lineup. I see Christian Walker filling a similar role, if all things go well, that Michael Brantley did as a veteran hitter on the team. As far as Bregman leaving the team is concerned, that's going to hurt. He was a pitcher whisperer. He was able to kind of tell pitchers what to throw to certain hitters because he was a really student of the game. But I do see Jeremy Pena stepping up into that next leader role. He has a few more years with the team. Altuve is going to Altuve. He might just put up 2 WAR just because he's in left field. He's going to lose a lot of defensive points there. But Jordan, he's actually a hitting savant. He's still underrated in my book. He's probably top 5 hitter. If I would have put him next to Soto, they're probably the same for me as far as impact. And we can just look at numbers in that and go band for band on that any day. But I'm picking the Astros. Rangers close second is going to be like 2023 all over again. Hopefully not as traumatic as last time. When I said in the CS, that was crazy.
So, I mean,
Astros.
By the way, Jeremy Pena didn't have a bad year last year. He had 266, had the most RBIs of his career. Like, he didn't have a terrible year.
Yeah. He's trending up for me. He's trending up. Power, speed.
I think that for Houstonians, like, they love him so much. So they have such high expectations.
It's an expectation game.
And a little drop off has them like, no, come back. We need a little bit more from you. But the love that they have for him is like, when you talk about players being here and having that star-studded type thing, like I know a lot of people who love him as a player. So he's like, Houston players, they really get that kind of love that you wouldn't expect.
Man, there's a lot of women that love him.
Yeah.
Stop it. There's a lot of women that love that boy, man.
I mean, he's right.
I may know a few. Because I'm older, but I know a few. So
I'm older. Let me be clear. I think April's right. I think Jeremy Pena, it's looked that he had a step back, and that's because he kind of had he played well in the playoffs. What was it, 2 years ago?
Yeah.
And everybody was really waiting for him to be a next superstar level player. Mm-hmm. That did not happen last year. So, I mean, we got to call a spade a spade. He didn't play bad, but he did not have a breakout superstar year. And again, this is in the AL West. We're looking at a whole bunch of players. One of them we did not mention because I don't think anybody believes in the 85-win Seattle Mariners last year. But they had 85 wins. They finished 3.5 games out of the AL West. Which everybody would say Julio Rodriguez had a major step back year. Mm. If Julio Rodriguez has a normal Julio Rodriguez year, they probably get that 3.5 games, right? Mm-hmm. I mean, again, he was atrocious to start the beginning of the year last year. So, I mean, I'm interested to see, like, looking at the Mariners lineup, how everyone's kind of, and I'm with you. I picked the Astros to win as well, but this is, Julio Rodriguez, Randy Arozarena is still in there. JP Crawford could be back.
Luke Rayleigh's good too.
You're looking at rotation of Castillo, Logan Gilbert, Brian Woo's in there.
No, that rotation is
serious.
Yeah.
Steady.
So I'm with the guys that think the Astros are going to be on top of it, but I also think the Mariners and the Rangers aren't too far off. Really quickly, Flobo.
Yes.
must watch team in the
it's at the Athletics. The Athletics.
Who's the league pass team and league pass player in both divisions?
You put them in an island in Sacramento in a minor league park with Luis Severino and Brett Rooker and Shea Langoliers. It's gonna be a fun time, man.
Yeah.
You think athletics are your must-watch league pass team?
Absolutely. It's a giant experiment. It's a big messed up situation.
Do you have a player in the entire division that you're going to be watching?
I want to see if Trout can come back personally, but I think the fancy answer is going to be Severino, right? He's a guy who's going to be the most expensive signing that team's ever had playing in a minor league park in Sacramento. But me personally, I'm watching Trout.
Anybody else? Who's your must-watch?
Lawrence Butler.
Lawrence
Butler. I think Lawrence Butler gonna make the All-Star team. He's motivated. All-Star game is in his home city. He's gonna prove that contract is worthwhile. I really got Lawrence Butler going off and playing in a minor league park. It could go either way. It's like, man, I want to be in the big leagues. I want to play in a big league park, or kind of pressure bring down the pressure a little bit. You're playing in minor league park. You get to go on the road and play in big league stadiums. But I think that there's no such thing as a sophomore slump for Lawrence Butler. I can't wait to see what he does this year.
Anybody else that we should be on the must-watch list in the AL or NL West?
I'm going to have to pick the guy we were just talking about, Jeremy Pena. One quick stat about him. The very first rookie shortstop to ever hit a home run in the World Series was Jeremy Pena. It was the first one. That's kind of weird, right?
Look, you'd rather watch Pena over Cam Smith every day? There you go.
No.
I can't wait to see what he does in that park, bro.
But I'm definitely picking Law, just like Lou, because I just love his aura. I love his swag. Just love to hear him talk about the game. It's just good to see people like us doing well. And
April, nobody picked Tim Anderson. Are you going to pick Tim Anderson as your league pass must-watch player?
Y'all know it was because it was waiting for me to be able to say it. Right. I'm going to keep my fingers crossed because when I saw his batting average go up, I was like, Lord, please let this man be able to make this team and perform at a higher level. So, yes, I am one of those people who is going to be watching him because this man has had a rough road. But I want him to win. I think that's the thing. Wait, what did you say?
Where's he going to play second? I don't think he's going to play.
Did he make the team?
Second, up the middle.
Oh, no, I'm not trying to be funny.
We don't know yet. Is with Kyon Paris still there? TA still there? Christian Moore.
Outside of that, I will say Lawrence Butler for all the reasons that y'all said. Like, I just like watching his interviews. They're very entertaining, and I feel like he has a genuine passion for the game that is missing. I love hearing him talk about it. I love hearing him reference it in regards to other baseball players. We need that aspect. So yeah.
I got a question for everyone else though, because I felt like 3 months ago in the wintertime, everyone was talking about Sasaki, but now no one is. Right?
No, I think they're talking about Sasaki.
But would you guys want to see him at all?
I don't think. No, I mean, so I'm going chalk here, and my NL West team to watch would be the Dodgers because of all the things we talked about. My player is going to be Shohei. If I get to watch any player, Shohei to me still. No, seriously.
That's
that's like the obvious answer.
That's a cop out.
If you're asking me the question in the division, even today, I woke up at freaking, 6 a.m. Why? To watch Shohei, right? I mean, I'm watching the Dodgers, but I'm watching Shohei. If Shohei's at bat, I'm stopping what I'm doing. I'm going to watch Shohei. If there's a big, situation, he's the guy I want to see, man. He's the guy I want to see. So, but I do want to see Sasaki. I want to see Yamamoto, season 2 of that. In the AL West, I do want to watch Lawrence Butler, of course. I'm very excited about Law. I'm also very concerned about the pressure and the hype they're putting on this young man. I want him to be successful. I know he's a big personality. I think he's built for it, but it's still one of those things where I just don't want it to be too much too fast. And I think they are building him up to be a megastar. And I have full confidence.
I do feel that. I feel that. I don't want to be too much too fast.
Yeah, I
that.
do.
Mm-hmm.
And then I think the team, I don't want to watch. I want to watch the Angels. Not
Me too.
so Flobo. I don't think they're gonna make the playoffs. I think you're crazy. But
Whoa.
no. I do think that they're my league pass team. I want to see what Trout does. I want to see what TA does. I want to see what Kyron Paris does. I want to see what Ron Washington does. I want to see if Christian Moore comes up. I want to see if they can. So I mean, like, I want to watch the Angels. I'm going to stop and watch the Angels play. I just don't think they're going to win a lot of games.
I want to see if those no cell phones thing works.
Yeah, that's gonna be weird. Flobo, to answer your question, I think I'm a little bit more excited about Yamamoto than Sasaki. I want to see a second year of Yamamoto. Really, because I feel like the Sasaki show is going to be a lot of walks, and that's not really that entertaining. For now, he will be.
You want to watch who I talked about last week? You want to watch who?
Yamamoto.
He's not going to Cy Young.
Hey, look, we're moving along, guys. We've done the West. We've done the East. Let's go. I thought going to.
We didn't do AL Central. Oh, okay, we did.
I thought we were going to Flobo's favorite area of all of baseball. Was both Central divisions. I was wrong because he surprised me and said that the AL West is his favorite division. Let's go to a division that we've probably said is upside down for the last 2 years, but now it might just be right side up. That is the NL Central. So in the NL Central last year, all the Brewers do is win games. They won the division by 10 games, 93 wins. They've got the Cardinals, Cubs, Reds, and Pirates. Lewis, who's going to win the NL Central?
The Brewers again. They're gonna. I think Reese is going to have a bounce back year. That park, the ball travels too well in that park for him not to be able to put up 20, 25, 30 home runs. I think he's going to step up big. If Yelich can come back from the back surgery, it's going to do Yelich things again. I like their young outfield. Jackson Churio is going to have he's going to just build off that freshman season. And Brandon Woodruff, shout out to Woody, man. I really, he's a genuinely good dude. Country boy, but can throw that ball. But I think that rotation is going to do just enough. Bullpens, actually, they had a pretty decent bullpen. But I think that division's just can't keep up with the Brewers. I got them winning the division.
All right,
Cubs might give them a little bit of a scare, but I think at the end of the day, the Brewers are gonna go past.
Malik, second to you, NL Central. Who do you got?
This is gonna be a division of managers. So we have Terry Francona, a 2-time World Series winner. We got Pat Murphy, who's a savant, and we got Craig Counsell, who's really good as well. But I'm picking the Brewers. They do it year in and year out. It's just the way that they play baseball. They had really good offense, even though they didn't have the sexiest players on their team. Losing Adames is going to hurt, but the defense is still intact. So I don't know. I think that the Brewers, every time we doubt them, they do it. So I'm picking them, and I really like their prospects. I really like the guys they got coming up. And Jackson Churio, he might be an inside MVP candidate as well.
There you go. April, NL Central.
Y'all
April. hey, she took a pause, April.
Now, April.
Go ahead.
Don't worry, April. I'm gonna be worse.
I have the Reds, not just because it's my last name, but I have the Reds. I'm very confident. I went back and forth between the Brewers, and with the Yelich injury, I just feel like this is the Reds' time. I think that they've made some moves, and I think that somebody's not coming out of retirement to just because. I think that he's going to be an X factor for the team to get them over that hump. I think they're going to be very competitive, and so I'm going to do a whole. Everybody looking at me crazy for doing it, but in my heart is the
I see
Reds.
right through you though. Oh, they get a Dodger and Gavin
That's
Lux, and they're going to win the division. I see.
No.
No, I'm
Ellie
just
Deli.
saying.
No.
She think
Dodgers
Ellie gonna be
faithful.
like this to the whole team and just carry him all the way to the division.
Listen, my dad
He
agreed
might.
with
He
me,
might.
Yeah,
okay?
Ellie
But-
is the real deal. He's true.
My dad agreed with
Yeah,
me.
dog.
So.
That team might, in this division, one star might be able to carry you to the division. We'll see.
Very see.
Do we get to who needs to go? Who do we get to?
You're going to hate me for this one, man. So
Am
remember,
I going to hate you, Flo? You
Yeah,
said
you
the
are.
Angels are going to the playoffs.
Who's not going to make the playoffs? The
Don't say it.
Brewers will not make the playoffs this season, and
All
that
right.
is my.
All
That is. I got Chicago winning this one. This is actually a
I knew
case of addition by subtraction, and here's the reason why. You talk about so many instances where games were pretty much on the line with Bellinger and not being able to work out defensively. He's not in Wrigley anymore. Kyle Hendricks is actually, ironically, in Los Angeles now. He's going to be with the Angels. But I'm just saying, I do think this puts them in a much leaner, meaner team. I'm going to give Chicago Cubs, man, the division lead. And I don't think the Brewers make it. I don't.
With you.
Flobo, you might be redeeming yourself.
What?
Oh, you got the Cubs too, Cheats?
Come on, bro.
I do like the
Flobo.
Cubs, but wow. okay.
Flobo, you
Let's
might
go.
be onto something. Because I also have the Cubs winning the division. And I think that this is, again, I don't know how good the baseball in this division is going to be. I think by default, Lou is right. I'm zagging here because everything says, the Brewers still finish on top. Seriously. Everything in my mind says the Brewers still finish on top. But
Pick the Brewers, Cheats.
no.
That's fine.
No.
I do that.
No.
You did okay.
This one is just, I'm looking and it's like, who do I not only like the best, but who do I believe in? Because honestly, I like the Reds and the Cardinals as teams. I like the makeup of their teams. I root for more players on the Reds and the Cardinals. But
yeah,
who are you gonna really think can put it together and get on top of that division? I think the Cubs have the ability to do it. I like Kyle Tucker there, obviously. Swanson's there. If we can get anything offensively from PCA, that's a shot there. I just like. I actually really like Shota. I thought Shota pitched really well against the Dodgers in Japan. I just think that the Cubs have the ability, and I think that this division, as we always say, has been upside down for so long that you could blink and the Pirates could be in first place for a few months, a few weeks. I'm going to tell you now. Just for full disclosure, I will say the NL Central is a bit heartbreaking for me right now. I don't think this is speaking out of school because all of it's public knowledge. But I got some friends in that division, some friends that I'm able to even kind of reach out to on a personal note, and just like guys like Will Benson and Josh Palacios and friends of the show that have been on the show. And, it's a heartbreaking division. I want those guys to stick. I want those guys to stick on big league clubs. So hopefully they'll be back up soon. Breaking camp has been tough in the Central, I think. So guys like Reese Hines is down as well for the Reds. And there's just some really, I think, guys that I think could be major league players on the cusp of doing some good things that are not on the roster right now. So I'm hoping for that. I hope that Hunter Green has a huge year. I do hope Hunter Green has a all-star year and does a really good job. So I don't know. The Central, I'm rooting for Victor Scott. I'm rooting for Jordan Walker. I'm rooting for Mason Wynn. I hope Tink Hintz gets a shot to come up. We'll see what Cam Collier does with the Reds. The division's crazy to me, but I am picking the Cubs to win it. So I think we got everything down, and we will go to our
Justin Turner. Sorry, Justin Turner will be huge for Shaw at third base.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
I agree.
Yeah, he's a good mentor.
Absolutely. So we're moving right along. We are going to what I thought would be Flobo's favorite division, the AL Central.
Yeah,
the AL Central is a hot mess.
Yeah.
It's a hot mess. Last year, everybody's got to be looking at the Guardians in some way or the other. 92 wins, won the division by 6.5 games. One of the best players in baseball play in this division. If you talk about Bobby Witt Jr., upstart Detroit Tigers, Minnesota Twins are, could be right there as well. And then obviously they have the White Sox, who finished 51.5 games back.
You don't need to say that.
All-time worst in baseball. Flobo, let's start with you. I remember your bold prediction last year. It was very Royals heavy, right?
Yeah. It was last year was Royals win the pennant, which didn't happen, but I got really, really close.
Hey, you went bolder this year.
Yeah, exactly. I don't know how to take this one, man. This one took me the longest one to figure out because it feels like a four-way dance. You can't really expect the Chicago White Sox to be that bad again. So those wins have to come from somewhere else. And the collapse from the Twins, I think, is pretty much like they're nail in the coffin. So I got the Royals repeating. I got them winning the division, but it's going to be close. I do think Detroit goes to the playoffs as well. So they have them in second. So it's not like a big runaway situation, but I got the Royals because I really believe in the John and India redemption tour. Bobby Witt's on another level altogether. I mean, that's my pick.
I like that. All
right. April, NL Central, what do you say?
Royals. I got the Royals. I mean,
you got the Royals.
Yes, I did.
That's what's up.
That's it. No further explanation needed.
You got the Royals.
You got the Royals. Malik, what say you?
I ain't gonna lie, y'all. Changed it at the last minute. First, I had the y'alls, but I'm gonna pick the Twins. And the reason why, I know they ain't did nothing. Did nothing. But hear me out. This team has a lot of first round picks that are like going to hit. When Royce Lewis comes back, that boy can hit any ball that's thrown.
Comes back.
I love Royce Lewis, but
when he is back, he hits very well. Byron Buxton. Hey, maybe just DH him when it's cold outside, and then put him in center field.
He plays in Minnesota, my guy. What are you going to do for 2 months?
Trevor Larnach and Matt Wallner, underrated corner outfielders. Carlos Correa, actual, really good leader. I'm gonna pick the Twins.
Hey, Miss April.
Hey,
bro. She was like, "Nah."
I'm still salty, okay, but continue.
That's not nice.
They got beef. But the y'alls, they had the thing that really scared me away from the y'alls is their offense from at home and offense away. It's giving cheating scandal. It's giving. I know well. I know very
if
well.
If anybody would know, you would.
Look at the numbers.
Damn.
I'm gonna know.
He wasn't on the team, April.
On Houston crime right here.
Somebody go look up Salvador Perez's numbers away from Kaufman and then at home. I'm gonna pick the Twins. I love their offense. I'm just gonna jump on a limb in the Central. We might as well. 20s. And they got black players. I like them.
The Melvin quotient.
Kersey made the team, announced today. Is Austin Martin got sent?
Deshaun? You talking about Deshaun Kersey? Yeah, good old Deshaun.
Austin Martin got sent down, right? So and it's Buxton's there. He's gonna play in center. We'll see, man. We'll see.
Yeah, I love the extra credit that you give them for black players.
I give every team extra credit for black players.
Any team that has black
players. I don't know if you've been following the inner monologue that's happening in my group chat in my head. I'm just telling you where all the black players are going. Like if you're following my Instagram feed, it's like this person got sit down. This person made the team. This is all. I'm still waiting on the Angels. I have no clue who's gonna make the team right now.
You don't know.
Lou, Central.
AL Central will be the Royals. I really think that Jonathan India acquisition is going to pay dividends. I think he's a great table setter. I think he's going to flourish. I think him and Bobby Witt at second and short are really going to feed off each other. Bobby Witt's going to have another. another great year. I don't know if he's going to have 30, like the 30s that he did, but I think Bobby Witt's just going to have another great year. I did not know about the home and away splits. That's very interesting. But starting pitching, solid starting pitching. Cole Reagans has a ability to win the Cy Young. Waka, you got Seth Lugo in there.
Lugo's there. Lorenzo's there. Lorenzen's there.
Yeah, they got solid starting pitching. A little bit of a question mark in the bullpen, a little bit, but I think that they're going to do enough. Like you said, it's kind of a logjam a little bit. It depends on injuries and who's hot, who's not. Division's kind of up in the air, but I think the Royals are going to pull it out at the end.
Let me tell you why I don't think this division's up in the air.
What?
I don't think the division's up in the air at all. There's a gentleman by the name of Jose Ramirez. I don't know if you've heard of him. He's probably the best outside of Bobby Witt Jr. He's probably the best player in the division. There's another player named Stephen Kwan. There's another player we call Big Christmas. There's another player we call Bo Naylor. And I am thinking the Guardians.
He's not Josh Naylor though. He's not Josh.
He's not.
Talk about it. Talk about it.
I think Tanner Bibby, Emmanuel Clase. I think the Guardians still finish as the class of the division. I know the Royals are a nice story. They're cute. Bobby Witt is a great player. I know. I look cute. They're cute. You know, they won't become legit in my eyes until they bring Tyler Tolbert up. Royals are also one of 3 teams in Major League Baseball without any Black American-born players on their roster. So I'm just going to throw that out there.
There you go.
Bonus point.
There it was.
Bonus point.
That's why.
Bonus point.
There it is.
Points.
I'm going to go with the Guardians winning the division, and I think they're going to win it comfortably, honestly. And I think that the Royals will be fine. I think the Tigers, we talked about this, I think they do take a little bit of a step back, but they still have the best pitcher in the division, probably one of the best pitchers in baseball. I think we should talk about them more. And I am glad that somebody, Malik, I am glad somebody put some respect on the Twins' name as well. So, I mean, I think this division is going to be bunched up there between those 4 teams. And, you know, maybe the White Sox, we did the over-unders. Maybe the White Sox pick up 10 games. We don't know.
Stop making fun of the White Sox, man.
Who would be?
I want to see them alone. That's
who would be your
pick to watch.
Who's your league pass teams and players in the Centrals, AL, and NL? Who's going to stop you? What team's going to stop you? Say, I'm going to watch them. What player is going to stop you and say, I got to watch them?
Okay. Can I go? Can I start? I'm gonna go with the Central is definitely gonna be Ellie. He's chasing Acuna numbers. Say what you want about the strikeout. Say what you want. And if anybody has something to say about them errors, look at the outs above average. Look at the defensive run saved. Look at the range. Come on now, this guy is catching balls that are hits for most people. So it's gonna be Ellie, and in the other division. I'm gonna pick Miguel Vargas. Actually, I want to see that centerpiece trade. See what he does. Is he gonna be happy? Is he gonna be sad? I want to see what he does. I actually want to see if he's a good player, because if he was with the Dodgers, I feel like he would have been.
He is a very good player. I played against him. He's a very good player. Very good hitter. Very smart.
Very sad player in Chicago, man.
Very
language. Body language is everlasting, man.
Body language is not very well.
Is there any players that you want to like? Any teams or players?
You can't answer my question. I'm gonna pick Tommy Pham forever. You understand that?
Tommy Pham
is gonna be the guy.
Tommy Pham in Pittsburgh.
I like Bobby Witt, man. Like, I feel like this guy brought kind of energy, not like a Pat Mahomes, where he's willing to sit up in that city and make that city his own. I love players who do that. So I would make maybe my choice in AL Central.
April, Lou, any teams, players that you just gonna stop the scroll for you in the Central divisions? What do you think?
For me, it's going to be for sure Reds. I'm watching the Reds in the NL. I'm watching the Royals in the AL. y'all know I love me some Ellie, so it's always gonna be Ellie for me. And I love Bobby Wood Jr. Like I just like watching him play. He's just such an exciting player, and in the games you don't even know what he's expected to do. And yes, I know we all expect Judge to win AL MVP again, but I just feel like Bobby might give him a little something this year. So
there you go. I'm with you guys in the sense that I mean I think Ellie and both Bobby Wood are guys that you stop. Scribbles a guy that I stop if he's pitching. I do want to see it, but I'm going to give some love to my dare I say Black Cardinals out there. So I would stop. I would stop and watch Jordan Walker, Mason Wynn, Victor Scott on the field at the same time. So I want to. They would stop me. I would want to see them. I would want to root for them. I'd stop and see Hunter Green pitch as well. I'm a huge fan of Hunter Green.
We're not going to stop and see Paul Skeens pitch. I know he's not black.
There you go. That's a good one. I mean, hey, look.
That guy is
Paul Skeens your guy?
forever
devil. Oh my god.
Dominance to a T. A full season of Paul Skeens, bro.
Woo.
And I think I've seen him so much for LSU that it was just kind of like, I don't know if I should say that again because.
Yeah, I mean, and if you're watching Paul Skeens, you're also watching Key Bryant Hayes, Andrew McCutchen, and Tommy Pham. There you go.
It's true.
Yeah, okay. Andrew McCutchen is. I mean, I hope he doesn't retire anytime soon, but he is getting older. But I think he's starting DH. I can't wait to see Andrew. I always like Andrew McCutchen. I was a big fan of his coming up. Yeah. I'm going to say Byron Buxton too. My boy Byron, same draft class, number one pick in the draft class. Byron Buxton, I think he comes back with a vengeance. Too many people have been talking some mess about Byron and done forgot what Byron Buxton can do in the outfield and what he can do in the bat and why he got $100 million. So
there you go.
Obviously the injury bug been hurting him a little bit, but I think Byron's gonna bounce back.
Minnesota.
Let's before we go to comeback player of the year, let's quickly go through who is going to win the American League Championship, who is going to win the NL Championship, and then who is going to win the World Series. This is predicted future time, guys. I hope we're ready. Flobo, who plays in the World Series? Who wins the World Series?
I got Philadelphia Phillies over the Detroit Tigers in the World Series.
Whoa! Wow!
Hey,
I'm
watching that.
You didn't have the Tigers winning the division.
No, I don't. I have the Royals win the division. I have the Tigers.
Royals winning the division.
Tigers getting at the deadline to get them there.
That'd be interesting. I don't know. Maybe it's over the Brewers because they'd be crashing and burning.
I want to get this straight though. You have the Royals winning the division.
Yeah.
You have the Tigers sneaking into the playoffs, but the Tigers going to the World Series.
Correct.
And they play who?
The Philadelphia Phillies.
And who wins?
The Philadelphia Phillies.
All right. World Series champions from Flobo are the Phillies. April, we're getting this all down.
I have it.
Lou, who plays in the World Series? Who wins the World Series?
I don't know, man. But I think the Texas Rangers and the Phillies, and I think the Phillies are gonna come out with it. I think it's the Phillies. I think it's the Phillies' time. I do think it's they've been there. They've gotten so close, and I just think they're tired of getting just knocked out, just barely. I think the Phillies go ahead and take it this year. I hope I'm right too, because I like my boy JT, Trey Turner. I want to see those guys get a ring. JT's a really good dude. I want to see those guys get a ring.
And let me make sure I got this right. You definitely had the Phillies winning the East in the NL.
I had the Braves.
Oh, what? So you had the Braves winning the division.
Winning the
You
East.
got the Phillies getting in the playoffs and actually winning the World Series.
Yeah.
Over, and one more time, I just want to make sure it's right. You got them winning over the Texas Rangers.
Mm-hmm.
And did you have the Rangers winning the division, or?
I had the Rangers winning the division.
Okay, so Rangers win the division. They go to the World Series. They lose to the Phillies. We're getting it all down. We got Flobo. We got Lou. Malik. Who goes to the World Series? Who wins the World Series?
Okay, so I'm going to jump on the hype train. There's going to be the Phillies versus the Astros for a rematch. to see which one of the closing windows is going to close. So you're gonna shut each other's window.
Close the windows. Padres looking on like
end of an era.
The
End of an
Phillies,
era. It's the end of an era.
I'm an honest fan. I feel like the Phillies are gonna take that window and just shut the Astros window close. So I'm taking the Phillies because I feel like they want that. They really want that ring. Wow. And so I'm saying they're gonna go into the World Series again. So Phillies versus Astros.
This is amazing. This is amazing. So the end of an era. Here we go. Phillies, Astros. You actually have them both winning their divisions.
I have the Braves winning the division.
The Braves winning the division.
Yeah. But the
Phillies getting in the playoffs, making the run. I see how it's working. I'm seeing here. I'm looking at April's face. She is absolutely disgusted by all of these Philly World Series picks. She is absolutely disgusted. April, return some sanity to this group, please.
Because clearly, all three of y'all have lost the best part of y'all minds. Well, I need you to explain to me, like I'm 5, because the explanations that you've given, it just doesn't seem to work. Y'all had all these wonderful things to say, and then you come out of the gate with some Phillies. The Phillies, no.
Bryce Harper,
for the last 6 years, the Dodgers stumble and fall in the playoffs.
April, tell them how you really feel, April. Tell them how you really feel, April.
You know, some people are they're ready for the moment. And unfortunately, those people are not the Phillies. It will be the Los Angeles Dodgers repeating, going back to back versus the Red Sox.
Oh, I like that World Series. I'm watching that one.
Run it back.
I like it.
I have the Red Sox versus the Dodgers. I don't know if we're doing this. Are we doing Cy Young? Can I say this?
Not yet.
Okay, sorry. I think that the Red Sox are going to really put forth an effort and show out this season. And I think that, of course, the Dodgers are going to do what they do. I think Dave Roberts is going to manage this team and keep them up the way that he did last year. And I think that we will compete at a high level. Out of all the teams listed, we're the only one who were able to somewhat figure out a way to be able to have a bye and still win. So I think that is also something that will help us. We can come out as a wild card team.
You're old.
We also come out that way, but we will.
Old people need rest, April. Yeah, that's how they figure out the bye.
My nap slapped today, bro.
Right.
3 o'clock in the
afternoon.
afternoon.
I need a rocking chair.
Listen, I'm speaking from a World Series perspective. Y'all aren't speaking from that perspective, okay?
I like it. I like it. Well, I like it.
I'm done now.
I like that World Series, though. That's going to be a good matchup if that happens.
I like it, too.
I think April has restored a sense of sanity.
That's what I'm here for.
Group, because I really heard all of this Phillies talk. Most of them didn't even pick the Phillies to win the division in many ways, and they're going to the World Series. I'm going to pick my World Series, and yes, I'm going alternative.
I swear, if the Orioles are there, I swear to God.
I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it.
So help me, Chief.
I'm going to do it.
Help me. Don't do it.
I am there. Flobo, I don't know why you don't believe in your team so much, because I have a Orioles-Mets World Series.
I believe in my team, but I don't want to jinx it. That's the problem.
I've got an Orioles-Mets World Series.
Okay.
And the Orioles winning the World Series?
You think the Orioles are going to beat the Mets in the World Series?
I thought you did.
I've got the Orioles and the Mets playing for it all. I think the lights get really big.
They did.
And I think it's going to be hard with those big lights for this young Orioles team.
Okay.
I don't know how old they are. I've got the Mets. Big Daddy, what's his name? Big Daddy Cohen.
Uncle Steve.
I've got Uncle Steve winning the World Series. And I think it's going to be a zoo. But I got the Mets and the Orioles in the World Series. I got the Mets winning the World Series. in this world. So
I hope you're right because I want to jinx it myself.
there you go.
Right.
That's where I am.
Soto's gotta get a ring. He can't have that career and not
Second
have a ring.
ring.
He's gonna
He has
eventually
one.
get
He has
one,
one.
but I don't
Yeah,
know.
he
if
gotta
he
get
needs
two.
He's got a ring already.
I
Oh
don't
yeah,
know.
sorry. He does have a ring. But
April,
he's
I
gotta
don't
get one
know
in
when
his
the
contract.
Dodgers fall off
Thanks
the
for
cliff,
reminding me.
but I've got them going in the playoffs. I've got the
old,
Mets.
man.
I got the Mets.
I am proud to be a villain right now. And
You're not
I'm
a
proud
villain,
to
April.
be a villain
April, you're not a
making it
villain.
all the way to the World Series.
You're not a
You're
villain.
not a villain.
All right, MVPs, guys. Who do we got for the National League and American League MVPs?
Oh, here we go.
Does Shohei count or is it default option? I don't know.
Yeah, they're gonna name the trophy after Shohei when it's all said and done. So
Yeah, you're right. No, you're right. I can't even get mad.
Of
of course Shohei counts.
I can't even get mad.
What do we
I got Shohei and Witt for me.
Shohei and Witt. I like it.
I got Mr. Juan Soto and Vladdy.
Juan Soto and Vladdy for Lou. I like it.
Hold on.
Malik.
Okay, for the NL, I got William Contreras, and then for the AL, I have Jose Ramirez. It's time to put some respect on Jose's name. He's gonna go 40-40.
Here's the problem, Leak. You'll be
Again?
actually no, you'll be right, but the writers won't do that. Like,
They
how
hate
can we put
both of them.
Shohei
You're
here?
gonna hate both of them. I know.
April, who do you got?
I'm sorry, Malik, who do you have for? You said William Contreras, right?
Yeah, William, and then I got Jose Ramirez. Even though I know he's always gonna be second and third place.
Exactly.
They
He's
hate
technically
him.
right.
Okay. I too have Shohei Ohtani and I have Shohei Ohtani and Aaron Judge. Now that was a tough because I went Aaron Judge, Bobby Witt as well.
That is great.
Oh.
Didn't you? Shohei and Aaron Judge. You just running it back.
That would be rare. That would be rare. Man. That'd be dope.
I'm going with Bobby Witt this time.
Shohei's gonna get it every single year.
What?
Huh?
Go with what you believe.
Okay. I have Aaron on my list.
Yeah, don't do judgy. Come on now.
I've got Gunnar Henderson for the Orioles as the MVP.
That's my
because again, if the Orioles get to the World Series, it's gonna need an MVP type season from Gunnar Henderson, and I've got it.
Listen,
if the Mets are gonna win the World Series, they're gonna need an MVP year from Francisco Lindor.
He's gonna give it to them. They're gonna pick Shohei anyway. I don't know why you even.
I saw where you were going with that, Lou, and I know Soto's got to have a big year. He has to, but I think Lindor is still gonna be. Is this just like he's gonna rise to a season where with Soto in the lineup, he's gonna be under the radar for a while. If it's impossible to be in New York, and then you're gonna look up and be like, hey, look. Soto's doing this. Pete Alonso's doing this. Viento's doing this. But Lindor is the guy that really made this team go.
I don't know, Cheats. I just feel like Lindor and Bregman sometimes get cursed because every time they start a season, it's like 100 the first month. Mm-hmm. And then they turn up in June. I feel like Lindor kind of gets cursed a little bit with that MVP award because if he had just a decent first month, I feel like he'd be an inside track for the MVP.
I like.
Soto has an 1100 OPS at Citi Field, bro.
Yeah, I think they're gonna be great. That
was my dad's pick. My dad told me
in his career. I'm telling you, Juan Soto loves stepping in that box at Citi Field, and he's gonna be the home player. Oh my god!
I'm going. There you go. I like it. All right, we got Cy Young. And then we'll do our comeback player of the year, and then we'll wrap it up. Cy Young, guys. Malik,
I'm gonna jump in. This is not a hard choice. Freak, I did have two choices. I'm gonna go with Paul Skeens.
Paul Skeens or Cy Young? Okay.
Paul Skeens, Cy Young. He's scary. He doesn't have a lot of mileage on his arm. Honestly, he has really just started pitching. A lot of people don't know that. So, Paul Skeens. He's healthy.
The Pirates don't limit his innings,
That
Paul
is true,
Skeens
but he might just have enough value in those little innings. So
who in the American League?
Oh, in the American League? Okay, Luis Castillo. I feel like he ain't been trying, man. When I see him pitch, I'm like, bro, you really don't care. You got paid. He gets the innings. He has the age. He has the experience. He has the ballpark that works for him. He has that rotation. Luis Castillo is actually a big dog. I got him for the AL.
He's gonna try this year.
He's gonna try.
He's gonna try
Have you
this
seen
year.
his like
He's
numbers
gonna
with the temperature?
He's gonna try. Flobo, AL, NL, Cy Youngs.
I got Cole Reagans and Michael King for the Cy Youngs this year.
Oh, wow.
I know I'm not a big Padres guy, but King got some heat.
Mm-hmm.
All right, April, Cy Youngs.
Padres hater right here.
Yeah, no.
Wait, who did you have for AL again? I'm sorry.
Cole Reagans.
Good
Okay.
pick.
Mr. Reagans.
All right, for AL, I have Garrett Crochet.
Mm-hmm.
And for NL, I got like 3 of them, y'all. But at the top of my list is Blake Snell.
It's who?
Blake Snell.
Blake Snell?
Yeah. No, you know what? I lied. I said Yamamoto, so I'm sticking with Yamamoto.
Yeah,
She did say Yamamoto
Right.
earlier.
Yeah,
She did say
I
Yamamoto.
said it last
She did
week.
say Yamamoto.
These nails.
Yeah,
He's good.
I mean, they both not gonna win, but of the two, I would say Yamamoto.
Who else has to go? Is everybody gone?
No.
Oh, I
Lou,
uh,
Cy Youngs.
NL, Paul Skeens, AL, Garrett Crochet.
There you go.
Very important for the Red Sox.
I'm also gonna go with Crochet in the American League. I think it's the chalky pick, but I'm gonna go there. In the NL, I'm gonna have a return Cy Young, but not who you think. I'm going Corbin Burns. Corbin Burns
man, I done forgot about Mr. Corbin
in the National League and the Diamondbacks. I think I'm not as high on the team as some, but I do think he has a good season, and he's pitching in a comfortable spot. So I'm going to go Burns and Crochet.
I like that.
Love this pick. That's a good pick.
One of the smartest things you've said tonight.
There's not a lot of them.
Orioles, Chiefs.
There is not a lot of them. I've got the Orioles and the Mets in the World Series.
I would lead past that.
I'm just doing this for fun at this point.
You just pulled that out.
I feel like if they call up Kobe Mayo, they might do it. Okay?
I don't know. Hey guys, let's go. Let's have some fun with this one. Comeback Player of the Year. I know we've named a lot of players that could have a comeback season. Who do you
I gotta
think
find it.
Comeback Player of the Year in the AL and NL? Let's start with April.
For the NL, I have Matt McClain. And for the I'm sorry, did I say NL? Yeah. For the AL, Mike Trout. Listen, I'm just crossing my fingers and hoping for the best that him playing in right field, that it really doesn't do as much to his body, and that we get to see him as the player that we all know and love, because I think some people have forgotten. Him dropping down that list has people forgetting exactly who he is, and I just really want to see him be that guy.
I like that.
All right, Flobo, Comeback Player of the Year.
I also had Trout for AL, but my NL pick is Sandy Alcantara. I think he may got some juice in the tank. Post TJ surgery. That's my guy, Sandy.
There you go. Lou, Comeback Player of the Year. You mentioned Buxton earlier, so I don't know if you're going that direction.
No, I'm not. AL, I got Bo Bichette.
Okay.
Got Mr. Bo. Bo's going to go off. Contract year, he's definitely going to go off. Him and Vladdy both. They both had a meeting before spring training.
Is he angry too?
What's that?
Vladdy's angry, but is Bo angry too?
I think so. I get a sense of like Bo, because they both want to get paid, and they both think they deserve to get paid, which they do. I don't know about 500, 600 for Vladdy, but I think they've had a meeting before the season started and said that they were going to go on a revenge tour. So Bo Bichette is come back, and Mr. Sandy Alcantara for NL. Sandy's going to come back and dominate the league again. It's going to happen.
There you go. Who are we getting? Malik, are you up?
Okay, yeah. So I'm gonna try to deviate since you already picked Bo, Lou. I'm gonna pick another shortstop in the AL East with Trevor Story. A lot of people forgot when he was a
I
Rocky.
did.
No, you didn't forget. I know you didn't forget. This dude was a big dog. I'm not sure how he's going to play at shortstop, but I'm excited to see. If he puts up at least like a 750, 770 OPS, that's a good year for him, you know? And then for NL, going to pick Alcantara again. That guy is crazy good. And he might even try to get a Cy Young if they don't limit his innings. So Alcantara.
Which they will. They probably will.
Hey, so I mean, I think there's a lot of players in the AL that could fit in this category. Lou mentioned Byron Buxton. I'm looking at a guy like George Springer out of Toronto, but I think I'm going to Seattle, and I know I'm not going with Rodriguez, but I'm going with his teammate. We talked about this a little bit. J.P. Crawford is going to be my guy that I think could have a comeback year and be really, really good. And I hope he does. So I'm going to pick Crawford as comeback player of the year. In the AL, in the NL, I do like Alcantara, but I'm looking around and seeing like it's kind of interesting to see who kind of qualifies for this, because it's like you got to be an everyday player per se. You got to have had a down year last year. You know what I mean? Like or something that's not to your standards. I don't know if this person fits into the category of comeback player of the year, but I think that Michael Harris is going to be a star this year. Okay. And I don't think he had a bad year per se to be like, I'm going to come back. But I just think, I mean, I don't know if it's even better just to say breakout star, but I think that Michael Harris had a rookie of the year season. By all case and points, he was down last year. He wasn't at his kind of rookie. He was close, but he wasn't at the kind of the explosion of taking over the league like he was before. I think that he gets back to form and better. So I think that Harris is going to be my guy that's like the guy that is coming off a down year and having a huge year. But again, I don't know if he fits the criteria of comeback player of the year.
I see. Would you have one if it wasn't him, like another player?
Oh.
It's just hard, you know. It's one of the hardest.
Yeah, because it's like, I mean, I also like his teammate Ronald Acuna. Would he be considered comeback? Like,
It kind of would be, because I mean, you know,
he missed a good amount. He got hurt. What, in April?
And I think he's gonna miss a good amount, like leading up in the beginning of the season now, right?
Ronald Acuna Jr. dog, he can put together a nice month.
He was 40-70, but I think it's
I think that's gonna go down. He's not gonna steal as many bags.
I'm gonna go with Harris. All right. As we go through the conclusion of this, gentleman and lady, did we get everything? We knock everything off the list?
Yes.
I think so, yeah.
All right. So for case in point, quickly, April, just recap who's going to be our World Series champions.
All right. So for I don't think y'all said the actual World Series champions, so we'll go through that.
Yeah, we did.
No, we did.
Okay.
He said we didn't pick the right one.
It wasn't the Dodgers, so I didn't write it down.
It blacked out when nobody picked the Dodgers.
Nobody picked the Dodgers, so
I didn't listen to it.
Y'all was bugging, so I didn't write it down.
That was
so wrong, but okay. Cheats, you had Orioles versus Mets with the Orioles winning.
The Mets winning. Yeah, the Mets winning.
Oh, just kidding.
Because I want to go with that one. That one's great.
Yeah, I had the Mets winning.
Okay, Flobo, you had the Phillies versus the Tigers, and who was your pick?
The Phillies.
Okay. Malik, you also had the Phillies versus the Astros, and your pick was the
Phillies, unfortunately.
I'm sad about it.
You had the This is really hard for me. Lou, you had the Rangers versus the Phillies, and your pick was the
Phillies.
We don't like it. It's like
we don't want to see it though. It's not
Evil Empire. Yeah,
and I had the best pick out of everyone: the Red Sox versus the Dodgers.
That's a good pick.
The Dodgers winning.
Nobody will see the Dodgers win again either.
I think April has the best World Series pick.
I like that World Series matchup. I like that.
Yeah, no one's Dodgers to win it.
2018.
The Dodgers, if they take out the Yankees and the Red Sox in back-to-back years, that might be.
Yeah, the evilest
world might explode.
She said, "I don't think everybody gave it. No, we just."
She was like, nobody gave their picks.
No, I really hadn't circled it, y'all.
I would
These
like
aren't
to
legitimate
say,
picks.
We just didn't say the
as
Dodgers.
we finish this show and we go into opening day on Thursday, I couldn't be more excited about the season. Thank you all, as we obviously we'll still be back on every Monday and every Thursday and special episodes as we continue to go on. We'll do meetups with the mixtape as we go through the stadiums. I actually will be at the stadium this weekend in Nats Park to see most of your World Series picks. The Phillies play the Nationals in their opening series, so we'll be there on Saturday and Sunday. I've already got some mixtape family members that are going to meet me at the games on, I think, both days. So that's already exciting. So I mean, I'm just really excited about the season. I think we have really solid picks here. I know April feels like she has the most solid. I think Flobo, in classic Flobo fashion, has clearly said the most outrageous thing.
Outrageous.
Yes.
It's the future, brother.
He is in the future. Because if the Angels 25 and a half games back make the playoffs this year, that is really the future.
I'll accept an apology in writing.
You've got a Back to the Future 2
Right.
Biff Tanner map.
The Simpsons guy.
Remember the Biff Tanner map in Back to the Future 2 where like you got the almanac that predicted all the sports?
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's
the
where
casino
Flobo
in
is
Vegas.
right now.
In the
Ladies and
future.
gentlemen, thank you for bearing with us. This has been a really fun podcast. And we got to thank our sponsors, Stilo Sports, the Players Alliance, Number Game Scorecards, Rebellion Harvest Sunflower Seeds, Minority Prospects, Red, Black, and Green blog. Check it out for, I believe, tomorrow. The Red, Black, and Green blog owner, Pat, is going to be joining the Black Baseball Mixtape podcast website. We're really excited to have Pat. I think his first articles drop tomorrow and Thursday on the site. So make sure you follow all things Black Baseball Mixtape, all of our podcasts, all of our content on the website and social media. We really appreciate it. Ladies and gentlemen,